Hello everyone, welcome to another video on ratios by THiNC Institute of Design. This is Jackson. Let's get it started. So ratios is one of the most easy topic in arithmetic basically. In other topics we have lot of formulas, lot of concepts, lot of other things to discuss, but in ratios there are only two things you need to know. Let me just explain those two things first of all. So if two numbers are in the ratio of 2:3, we can say that the actual numbers are 2x and 3x. So if two numbers are in the ratio of 2:3, the actual numbers are 2x and 3x. Now, if we need to divide 60 in the ratio of 2:3, so how can you divide 60 in the ratio of 2:3? What you have to do is just multiply 60 with the first number, that is 2, and put the sum of these two in the denominator, 2 plus 3 in the denominator. And then do 60 into the second number, 3 divided by 2 plus 3 in the denominator. So we'll do 60 into 2 by 5 and we'll do 60 into 3 by 5. So what will we get here? So we can cancel these two. This is basically 12. So this is 12 into 2, 24. And this is 12 into 3, which is 36. So 24 and 36. So this is how we actually divide a number in a particular ratio. So 60 divided in the ratio of 2:3 is 24 and 36. So for that, we'll do 60 into the first number, 2 divided by 2 plus 3, and then we'll do 60 multiplied with the second number, 3 divided by 2 plus 3. So we'll get 24 and 36. And blindly, if we say that there are two numbers in the ratio of 2:3, we can say that the actual numbers will be 2x and 3x. So these are the only two things we need to know for doing any ratio question. So there are a few other things also, but for doing like majority of the questions, we just need to know only these two things. So let's get it moving. Let's see how we can actually do the questions. See, look at this question. What sum of money is to be divided among three people in the ratio of 3:4:7 so that the second person receives rupees 12 only? So what we have to do, we have to divide a certain sum of money among three people in the ratio of 3:4:7. So we can say that the actual values will be, since they are in the ratio of 3:4:7, the actual value will be like 3x, 4x and 7x. So three numbers are in the ratio of 3:4:7. So since they are in the ratio of 3:4:7, we can write the actual values as 3x, 4x and 7x. And what is the first person receiving? That is 3x. What is the second person receiving? That is 4x. And what is the third person receiving? That is 7x. Because each person receives is in this ratio. And it is clearly given that the second person receives rupees 12. So what is the second person receiving? That is 4x. And it is clearly given that it is 12. That means x is equal to 12 by 4, which is nothing but 3. So x is nothing but 3. Now what is the question? What is the sum of the money? So we have to find the sum of all the money. So the first person receives 3x, second person receives 4x and the third person receives 7x. The sum of the money which all of them receives is 3x plus 4x plus 7x, which is basically 14x. So 14x is what is the question? So we know that x is 3. So 14x will be 14 into 3, which is nothing but 42. So 42, option D will be the correct answer. So I'll just summarize this. So three persons have monies in the ratio of 3:4:7. So money which the first person receives will be then 3x, second person receives is 4x and third person receives can be written as 7x. And the second person receives 12. So 4x is 12. So x will be 3. So if x is 3, then we can say that then we need to find out what is the sum of the money. So what is 3x plus 4x plus 7x is the question. What is 14x is the question. We know that x is 3. So total will be 14 into 3, which is 42. So 42, option D will be the correct answer. I believe this is clear for you. Let's get it moving. Let's look at the next question. So what is this question saying? In a certain exam, the number of those who passed was 4 times the number of those who failed. So number of those who passed was 4 times of those who failed. If there had been 35 fewer candidates and 9 more had failed, then the ratio passed to failed becomes 2:1. Then the total number of candidates is the question. So it's a bit confusing one, right? So in a certain examination, the number of those who passed is 4 times those who failed. Okay, let's assume initially, let's say there are F number of people who failed. So number of those who passed will be 4F, right? So in a certain examination, those who passed is 4 times those who failed. So those who passed is 4 times those who failed. So if those who failed is F, those who passed will be 4F. If there had been 35 fewer candidates and 9 more had failed, so initially what is the total? Those who failed is F, those who passed is 4F. Because those who passed is 4 times those who failed in the initial case. So what will be the total? We know that passed plus failed is a total, right? So what is passed plus failed? It's 4F plus F, which is 5F. So total number of students in the initial case is 5F. I think that much is clear. Now what happened? There are 35 fewer candidates. See, there are 35 fewer candidates. Now the total number of candidates will be, so initially the total number of candidates is 5F. So if there are 35 fewer candidates, the total number of candidates is now 5F minus 35, right? And what happened? 9 more had failed. So initially those who failed is F. So now those who failed is 9 more, F plus 9. So there are two conditions given. There are 35 fewer candidates and 9 more had failed. So how can we find those who passed? So those who passed will be total minus those who failed. So we know that passed is total minus those who failed, right? So the total now is 35 less than the initial. Those who failed is 9 more. So those who passed now will be total minus those who failed, which is nothing but 5F minus 35 minus F plus 9. So this is the total number of students who passed now. So when we do this, what will we get? 5F minus 35 minus F minus 9. So what is 5F minus 9 minus F? That is 4F. What is minus 35 minus 9? Minus 35. 35 plus 10 is 45. So 35 plus 9 will be 44, right? So minus 35 minus 9, since they are minus, we have to add and put a minus sign. So minus 44. So those who passed now is 4F minus 44. So this is how it works now. So I believe all these are clear for you. So those who failed is F, those who passed is 4F, and total is initially 5F. Now the total is 35 less, those who failed is 9 more, so those who passed will be 4F minus 44. Okay, so I believe this much is clear for you. Now what are they saying now? After this, the ratio passed to failed is now 2:1. So those who passed is this much, those who failed is this much right now. And now the ratio of these two is given as 2:1. So those who passed is 4F minus 44 and those who failed is F plus 9. So now the ratio those who passed to those who failed is 4F minus 44 by F plus 9, and that ratio is given as 2:1. Okay, so what we need to find out, we need to find the total number of candidates initially. So what is the value of 5F is the question. So basically we need to solve what is the value of F from that equation. Okay, so let me just do it further. So how can we actually solve this? We can actually cross multiply and equate, right? Okay, let's cross multiply and see how it works actually. So when you cross multiply, what will we get? 4F minus 44 equals 2 into F plus 9. So what will we get? 4F minus 44 equals 2F plus 18. Now we can keep F's to one side. So what will we get? 4F minus 2F equals 18 plus 44. All good. So that means 2F equals 44. 2F equals what? 18 plus 44. What is that? When you do 18 plus 44, what will we get? 8 plus 4 is 12. 4 plus 1 plus 1, which is 6. So 2F equals 62. So what is F? It is 62 by 2, which is nothing but 31. So the value of F is 31. That much is what we found out. So let me just summarize all these, what we did till now. So initially those who passed is 4 times those who failed. So initially those who failed is F, those who passed is 4 times those who failed. So passed is 4f and failed is f initially. So total will be 4f plus f, that is 5f. Now 35 fewer candidates are there in total now, and 9 more had failed. So failed is f plus 9, total will be 5f minus 35. So those who passed will be total minus those who failed now, which is this. So now the failed to pass ratio, so pass to fail ratio is given as 2 by 1. We kept it that way. We cross multiplied and we solved the value of f as 31. Now the question is, how many candidates was there initially is the question. So total number of candidates initially is 5f. So what we have to do, what we need is 5f. 5f is what is the question. So we have to do 5 into 31. So when you do 5 into 31, we'll get 155. So 155, option B will be the correct answer. So it is a bit lengthy question, but still I believe you got all the all clarity on how we actually take the things up and how we can actually equate it to a ratio and solve it up. So see, even though it is a bit lengthy, I think it adds some value because you get a clarity on how we actually take the things up, how we actually find the number of past candidates, knowing the total and those who failed, how we can actually equate it to a ratio and cross multiply and solve it. So this is actually an add-on or an add-on, this will add some value for those who are struggling with these kind of questions, I believe. Okay, so let's get it moving. Let's look at the next question. Okay, so what is this question saying? The monthly income of H and W are in the ratio 4:3 and the expenditures are in the ratio of 3:2. If each of them saves 600 per month, then the income of W in rupees is. So there are two people, the one is H and one is W, and their incomes are in the ratio 4:3 and their expenditures are in the ratio of 3:2, and each of them saves 600 per month. Then the income of W is what we need to find out. So let's see how we can actually solve this. So income of H and W are in the ratio 4:3. So income of H can be written as 4x since they are in the ratio 4:3, and income of W will be 3x. So this is all about income. And the expenditures of H and W are in the ratio of 3:2. So since we already took the variable X, we have to go with a different variable. So incomes are in the ratio 4:3. So we can write the actual values as 4x and 3x. Now expenditures are in the ratio of 3:2. So expenditures can be written as 3y and 2y, right? Because we already took the variable X, that's why I'm going for a different variable here. So expenditures are in this ratio, incomes are in this ratio. So incomes are in the ratio 4:3. So income is like 4x and 3x for each person. Expenditure is like 3y and 2y for each person, since they are in the ratio of 3:2. And each of them saves 600. What is the meaning of that? So this is H's income, this is H's expenditure. So we know that saving is income minus expenditure, right? So what is income minus expenditure for H? It is 4x minus 3y, and that is 600. That is what is given in the question. And when we talk about W, we know the income, we know the expenditure. So what is income minus expenditure is the saving. So what is the saving for the next person? It is 3x minus 2y. And each of them saves 600. So saving for the other person is also 600. So both of them are 600, right? So 4x minus 3y is 600, 3x minus 2y is also 600. So saving of H is 600, saving of W is also 600. So we need to find the income of W in rupees. So we need to find what is the value of 3x actually. So what can we do? We can frame two equations. So 4x minus 3y equals 600. 3x minus 2y is also 600. Now we have to solve it up. So what we can do, we have to make the coefficient of x same in both. So we can multiply the first equation. So how can we actually solve equations? We can actually make one of the coefficients same, right? So we just need to find the value of x actually. So we can make the coefficient of y same in both. So we can multiply the first equation by 2 and second equation by 3. So what happens? The first equation becomes 8x minus 6y equals 1200. The second equation becomes 9x minus 6y equals 1800. Now what can we do? We can just subtract these two. So 6x minus 6y becomes 0. 8x minus 9x is minus x equals 1200 minus 1800, 12,000 minus 1200 minus 1800 is minus 600. So minus x is minus 600. That means x is 600. So we got the value of x. Now what we have to find out is nothing but the income of w, right? So what will be the income of w? It is 3x. So it is nothing but 3 into 600, which is nothing but 1800. So 1800 is what the income of w is. Option C will be the correct answer. So basically in this question, what we did is we actually framed two equations. So the income of H and W are in the ratio 4:3. So the incomes will be 4x and 3x. Expenditures are in the ratio 3:2. So expenditure of each of them will be like 3y and 2y. So saving is income minus expenditure. So saving of the first person, H, is 4x minus 3y. Second person is 3x minus 2y. And both are equal to 600. Now what can we do? We can just equate it. We can just solve it up. So we are multiplying the first equation by 2, second equation by 3. So the coefficient of y will remain the same. Now we can actually subtract them. So when you subtract them, we'll get the value of x as 600. So if x is 600, what is the income of w? It is 3 into 600, which is 1800. So 1800, option C will be the correct answer. I believe this is clear for you. Let's try doing the next question. This is actually something which is doable. And I think most of you can try this question. So 4 numbers are in the ratio 1:3 to 4:7, and they adds up to give a sum of 105. Find the value of the biggest number. So since the numbers are in this ratio, we can write the actual numbers as 1x, 3x, 4x and 7x, right? So numbers are 1x, 3x, 4x and 7x, and they adds up to 105. So when we add all these up, we will get 105. So basically 15x is 105. So what will be x? It is 105 by 15. So what is 105 by 15? We know that 15 into 6 is 90, right? So I think it is 15 into 7. So if you do 15 into 7, we'll get 105. So we got x as 7. And we need to find what is the biggest number. So biggest number is basically 7x, right? So since x is 7, so biggest number will be 7x, which is 7 into 7, which is nothing but 49. So 49, option C will be the correct answer. So we can actually do this question just by putting the values as 1x, 3x, 4x and 7x. The sum is 105, x is 7. So the biggest number, that is 7x, will be 49. Okay, so this is a really good question. This is actually a combination of percentages and ratios. So what is this question saying? Two numbers are respectively 20% and 50% more than the third number. So there are two numbers and each of these numbers are 20% and 50% more than the third number. So if one number is x, so let's say the third number is x. So there are two numbers which are 20% and 50% more than the third number. So one number is 20% more than x, which is x into 120 by 100. And the other number is x into 150 by 100, right? So two numbers are respectively 20% and 50% more than the third number. So one number is x into 120 by 100 and other number is x into 150 by 100. And we need to find the ratio of these two numbers. So we need to find the ratio of these two. So when you find the ratio, what will happen? Denominators are same, we can cancel it off. X and x we can cancel it off. 0 and 0 we can cancel it off. So ultimately it will be nothing but 12 by 15, right? And again we can cancel it off. 12 and 15, when we cancel it off, what will we get? We can cancel it off by 3, right? So we'll get 4 by 5. So these two numbers, which is 20% and 50% more than the third numbers, the third number are in the ratio of 4:5. So 4:5, option C will be the correct answer. So this is something which is connected to percentages, but still it is a really good question. Okay, let's look at the next question. The sum of the money distributed among A, B, C and D are in the proportion of 5:2:4:3. If C gets 1000 more than D, what is B's share? Okay, sum of money distributed among A, B, C and D are in the proportion of this. If C gets 1000 more than D, what is B's share? So we know that we can write the actual numbers as 5x, 2x, 4x and 3x. and C gets 1000 more than D. So this is what A gets, this is what B gets, this is what C gets, and this is what D gets. So C gets 1000 more than D, right? So 4x is 3x plus 1000. So x is equal to 1000, right? So we got x as 1000. Now what is the question? If C gets 1000 more than D, so if C gets 4x is 1000 more than 3x, what is B's share? So 2x is what we need to find out. So what is 2x? It is 2 into 1000. So B's share is 2x, that is 2 into 1000, which is nothing but 2000. So 2000, option C will be the correct answer. Now let's look at the next question. The seats for maths, physics and biology are in the ratio 5:7:8. There is a proposal to increase these seats by 40%, 50% and 75% respectively. What will be the ratio of the increased seats? Again, this is a question where ratios and percentages are coming together actually. So seats for maths, physics and biology are in the ratio 5:7:8. So we can write the actual seats as 5x, 7x and 8x. And there is a proposal to increase the seats by 40%, 50% and 75%, right? So there is a proposal to increase the seats by 40%, 50% and 75%. So the seat in maths will increase by 40%. So it will be 5x into 140 by 100. So this is about maths. This is about physics and this is about biology. And the seats for physics is increasing by 50%. So it is 7x into 150 by 100. And what about biology? It is increasing by 75%. So the seats for biology is written as 8x. So it is increasing by 75%. It is 8x into 175 by 100. Now we need to find what is the new ratio. This is the increased seats, right? So the initial seats are in the ratio 5:7:8. So the actual seats are 5x, 7x and 8x. Now each of them is increased by 40%, 50% and 75%. And after the increase, what is the ratio of these is what we are finding out. So 100 is getting cancelled. Okay, so be very careful while cancelling the numbers. You have to make sure that you're cancelling it from all the numbers. Now what can we do? We can cancel 7, right? 7 from here and 140 and 7 cancels off and becomes 20. And 175 and 7 cancels off, 7 into 2, 14, 35, 25. Now we can cancel all these by 5, I think. So 5 cancels from here. So this is 30 and this is 5. Now again 5 cancels off. This 5 goes, this becomes 6, this becomes 4. So now we are getting 4:6:8. Again we can cancel it off by 2, right? So when you cancel it off by 2, we will get 2:3:4. So the final ratio is 2:3:4. Option A will be the correct answer. I believe this is clear for you. So let's look at the next question. In a mixture of 60 liters, milk and water are in the ratio of 2:1. If this ratio is to be 1:2, then the quantity of water to be further added. So ratio of milk and water is like 2:1. It's a 60 liters mixture, right? And ratio of milk and water is 2:1. So how much is the milk and water actually? So this is a question where you have to divide a number in a certain ratio. So there is a 60 liter mixture and milk and water is in the ratio of 2:1. So it's 60 into 2 by 3, that much will be the milk. So this is how we'll actually divide a number in the ratio of 2:1, right? 60 into 2 by the sum and 60 into 1 by the sum. So 60 into 2 by 3 and 60 into 1 by 3. So it's basically 40 and 20. So in a 60 liter mixture, milk is 40 and water is 20, right? Now this ratio need to be 1/2. How much water need to be added? So is the milk changing? Milk is not changing. It is clearly remaining as 40. But I am adding some water to it. So instead of 20, I am adding, let's say, X more liters of water. So initially 60 liters of mixture was there and milk and water is in the ratio of 2:1. So milk in 60 will be 40 and water in 60 will be 20. So because 60 into 2 by 3 and 60 into 1 by 3 is how we divide 60 in the ratio of 2:1. So we got 40 milk and 20 water. Now what happens? 20 more, some more water is added. So now the water is 20 plus x, milk is this much, 40 itself, and now the ratio becomes 1 by 2. So now how can we find the value of x? We can cross multiply. So 40 into 2, 80 equals 1 into 20 plus x, which is 20 plus x. So what is x? It's 80 minus 20, which is 60. That means you need to add 60 more water to it so that the ratio becomes 1 by 2. So 60, option D will be the correct answer. So I believe this much is clear for you. Now let's get it moving. The ratio of boys and girls in a college is 7:8. If the percentage increase in the number of boys and girls is 20% and 10% respectively, what will be the new ratio is the question. So this is again something which we can easily do. So boys and girls are in the ratio of 7:8. So boys can be written as 7x, girls can be written as 8x. Now the boys is increased by 20%. So this is this into 120 by 100, and girls is increased by 10%. So this is this into 110 by 100. So what will be the ratio of boys and girls now is the question. So we can cancel this off. We can cancel this off. We can cancel this off. So what are we getting? Again, can we cancel something? Yes. 12 and 8 cancels off with 4. So basically it is nothing but 21 by 22. So 21:22. Option C will be the correct answer. Okay, let's look at the next question. The sum of three numbers is 98. If the ratio of the first to second is 2:3 and that of second to third is 5:8, what is the second number is a question. Okay, so actually if you know the ratio of A is to B and then if you know the ratio of B is to C, there is a way we can actually combine the ratios. I'll just show you how we can actually do this. There is a shortcut for that. So let's say A is to B is 2:3 and B is to C. Let's do something else from the question. Let's say B is to C is 4:5. So I need to make a ratio like A is to B is to C. So there is a long cut that is making the number with B term same and then doing a lot of things, but there is a shortcut for this. All you need to do is just multiply them in a zigzag manner. So what you can do, 2 into 4 is 8, and then what is 3 into 4, that is 12, and what is 3 into 5, that is 15, as simple as that. I'll show you one more example. So let's say A is to B is 5:7 and B is to C is 3:4. So I need a ratio like A is to B is to C. So what you have to do, you have to just multiply them in a zigzag manner. So 15:21:28. As simple as that. So what is the question saying? The ratio first two numbers is 2:3 and second and third is 5:8. So you know the ratio first to second and you know the ratio second to third. Now first of all, let's make a ratio like A is to B is to, so first to second number. So first number is to second number. The ratio is 2:3 and second number is to third number. What is the ratio? 5:8. So can you make a ratio like first number is to second number is to third number? So first number is to second number is to third number. We need a ratio. So what you have to do? Just multiply them in a zigzag manner. So we have 2 into 5, that is 10. Right? So we have 3 into 5, that is 15. And then we have 3 into 8, that is 24. So basically the three numbers are in the ratio of 10:15:24. So actually we know the ratio of the first to second, we know the ratio of second to third. So we can make it a ratio like first is to second is to third by just multiplying them in a zigzag manner. Now what is the question saying? The sum of the three numbers is 98. So since the numbers are in this ratio, we can write the actual numbers as 10x, 15x and 24x. So sum of all the three numbers is 98. So 10x plus 15x plus 24x is what is given in the question, that is nothing but 98, right? Okay, what is 24 plus 10, 34 plus 15? 49, right? So 10, 15, 25 plus 24, that is 49. So 49x is equal to 98. So this is what we got. So if 49x is 98, what is the value of x? It's 98 divided by 49, which is nothing but 2. So you got the value of x, that is 2. Now we need to find what is the second number. So second number is nothing but 15x. The first number is 10x, second number is 15x, and third number is 24x, since these are in this ratio. So we need to find the second number. We know that x is 2. So second number is 15x. So second number is 15 into 2, which is nothing but 30. So 30, option B will be the correct answer. So I believe this is completely fine for you. So the only thing what you need to do is you have to combine them and make it a simple ratio. So first to second is this, second to third is this. So we can make a simple ratio like first is to second is to third by just multiplying them in a zigzag manner. Now the sum of all these is 98, so you got x as 2. So second number is 15x. So we got 15 into 2, 30. Option B will be the correct answer. Okay, so let's get it moving. Let's look at the next question. The salary of A, B and C are in the ratio of 2 is to 3 is to 5. If there are the increments of 15%, 10% and 20% respectively in the salaries, what will be the new ratio? So salaries are in the ratio of 2 is to 3 is to 5. So we can say that the actual salaries are like 2x. Okay, so let's write the actual salaries as 2x, 3x and 5x. So there is an increase of 15%, 10% and 20% in the salaries, right? So we know that to increase a number by 15%, we'll multiply it with 115 by 100. To increase a number by 10%, we'll multiply it with 110 by 100. To increase a number by 20%, we'll multiply it with 120 by 100. So we need to find the ratio of these. So when we find the ratio of these numbers, this is to this is to this, what will we do? We'll cut off the common things out. So we can cancel 100 off from all the numbers. Now, is there anything else to cancel? So when you're cancelling, make sure you cancel from all the numbers. So we can say that we can actually cancel all these by 5 also, right? So when we cancel this by 5, 5 into 2, 10, 15, 23. Then 5 into 2, 10, and then 22. Then 5 into 2, 10, 20, 24. Now what can we do? We can cancel it off. So x also again cancels off. Now we can cancel all these by 2. So this 2 cancels off. This becomes 11 and this becomes 12, right? So finally what are we getting? 23 is to 3 into 11 is to 5 into 12. So is there anything else to cancel off? I think there is nothing else. So what are we getting? 23 is to 33 is to 60. So which option is matching? Option C is matching with this. So option C will be the correct answer. So basically what we did is we kept the actual numbers as 2x, 3x and 5x since they are in this ratio. We increased each of them by 15, 10 and 120%. So that's why we are multiplying it with 115 by 100, 110 by 100 and 120 by 100. Then when we take the ratio of the numbers, we'll cancel the common things off. And finally, we'll reach at option C, which is 23 is to 33 is to 60. And that's the correct answer. So in a bag, there are 25 paise coins, 10 paise coins and 5 paise coins. And the coins are in the ratio 1 is to 2 is to 3. If there is rupees 30 in all, how many 5 paise coins are there in that is the question. So they are in the ratio 1 is to 2 is to 3, right? So we can say that the actual number of coins will be like 1x, 2x and 3x, right? Since they are in this ratio. And we know that there are 1x number of 25 paise coins and 2x number of 10 paise coins and 3x number of 5 paise coins. And in total it's rupees 30. So if you convert 30 rupees into paise, how much it will be? We know that 1 rupee is 100 paise. So 30 rupees means 30 into 100, which is 3000 paise, right? So if you add all the paises with us, it will be 30 rupees or 3000 paises in total. So we have 1x number of 25 paise coins, 2x number of 10 paise coins and 3x number of 5 paise coins. So total number of paises will be 1x into 25 plus 2x into 10 plus 3x into 5. So why am I multiplying it? So let's say I have 4 25 paise coins. So how much paise is in total? 4 into 25, 100 paise, right? So likewise we have 1x number of 25 paise coins, 2x number of 10 paise coins and 3x number of 5 paise coins. So total number of coins will be like 25x plus 20x plus 15x, and that is nothing but 3000. So when we add them up, what will we get? So 45 plus 10, 55, 60x, right, equals 3000. So what is x? We can cancel this off. 60 into 5 gives you 300, right? So 300 you can cancel off with 60. So x is equal to 50. So we got the value of x as 50. So we need to find out the number of 5 paise coins, right? So number of 5 paise coins is nothing but 3x. So number of 5 paise coins is 3x. So x is 50. So number of 5 paise coins is 3 into 50, which is nothing but 150. So 150, option C will be the correct answer. So I believe this is clear for you. So we assume the number of paises as 1x, 2x and 3x since they are in this ratio. And if there are 1x number of 25 paise coins, in paise in total it will be 1x into 25. 2x number of 10 paise coins, so 2x into 10. 3x number of 5 paise coins, so total paise will be 3x into 5. If you add them up, the total will be 30 rupees or 3000 paise. You will get x as 50. So total number of 5 paise coins is 3x. It's 3 into 50, which is 150. So 150, option C will be the correct answer. The next question. So what is the question saying? 40% of a number is equal to 2/3 of another number. What is the ratio first number to second number? How can we write it down? So 40% of a number, let's say the number is x, that is equal to 2/3 of another number. Let's say the another number is y. So 40% of a number is 2/3 of another number. We need to find the ratio first number to second number. We need to find what x by y is. So what we can do, we can just cut and simplify it off. So we can cancel these two zeros, and then we can actually cancel these 2 by 2. This is 2 by 5. Now we can actually cancel this 2 and this 2 also. So what will we get? X by 5 equals y by 3, right? Now what we need is x by y. So what we can do, we can cross multiply. So what will we get? 3x equals 5y. So what is x by y? It's nothing but 5 by 3. So x is to y is 5 is to 3. So the ratio of x first number to second number, x is to y is nothing but 5 is to 3. Option C will be the correct answer. So I believe this is clear for you. So in this video we were actually discussing about ratios. So we discussed how we can actually consider two numbers as if the ratio is already given. For example, if two numbers are in the ratio of 2 is to 3, we can take the actual numbers as 2x and 3x. Or if you need to divide a number in the ratio of 2 is to 3, we'll multiply the number with 2 by 2 plus 3 and 3 by 2 plus 3, or that is 2 by 5 and 3 by 5, right? So these are the two major concepts we discussed. Apart from that, we also did a different concept. For example, if you have a ratio A is to B and another ratio B is to C, we can combine them and make a ratio like A is to B is to C by just multiplying them in a zigzag manner. So these are the major concepts involved in ratios. So we have done almost all the type of questions. So practice more and more questions. Thank you so much for the time. Bye-bye.